So I'm going to be doing this with my camera. I've got some beetroot here now. I'm not sure whether they're going to be too big. I'm going to be pickling them today, so we will see. Look at that one over there, look. Can you see that caterpillar? Just a small one. I'll give that one to the robin. I've got turnip in here that I'm giving to the goats, and because it's gone slightly over, and I've got beetroot in here, and I've got beetroot in other places, so I think I'm going to pull quite a bit of this up. The leaves can go to the goats because they love them, and then you're going to come along and do some pickling of beetroot with me in a really lovely sweet pickle liquor. Alright, so let's see what these are like, and then I'll try and cut them up and see what they're like as well. So in here we've got some rather large ones. That one's come up with that one, and that one might be okay. This one looks like it's had a bit of a munch, but we can always cut that out. There's another one underneath my dahlia, so let's grab this one as well. There looks to be another one. That one's small. There's some more under there, but they probably won't grow because they're too much in the shade. Another one here. I need about 1 kilo. They're all looking really healthy, so that's good. I prefer to take more than not enough because I can always make some more beetroot another day if I've got more. So that's another nice big one. This one is huge, so we'll see. I'll have a go and see which ones are any good to cut, and if they're not, I'll just cut the roots off, and then and the tops for the animals. That one's quite easy to cut, so I'll give that one a go. Let's try this one. That one was easy to cut. So the bottoms go for the compost, and the tops go for the goats. Now this one does feel a bit tough, so I'm going to take this one up for the goats. They can enjoy this. So feeding the animals as well as feeding the soil, that's not bad, is it? I always know if I have to put too much pressure on it, that it's no good for the pot, but is for the animals. It's nice and sweet and good for them. Like everything, like us, like the animals, it's everything in moderation that is the way to go. So that's a little one, so they can have all of that. So I won't bother doing that one. That. Let's have a look at this one. That's easy to cut there. A little bit harder there, but I think it'll be okay. And all of these smaller ones should be fine. And once they're cooked, I think the majority of these are bolthardy beetroot, and they are generally pretty bulletproof, thankfully. and I'll be cooking these in the air fryer. So if you haven't ever done that, it's a nice easy way of doing it. I find it a lot less messy. And to be fine for all of these, and even if I don't pickle them all, we can have them in salads cold, and you can put them in the fridge in a little bit of pickle, and then that always works quite well. I do that with cut cucumbers sometimes as well. Put a little bit of pickling vinegar in there. So all of that will go to the compost. So that's all done, and then these can go to the goats. The one thing that I do go through and do is any that are not so nice older leaves, I tend to throw away. I don't want them being ill. I want it to make them healthy, not make them poorly. So they're probably spoiled. Other people probably just throw it in, but I don't. Even my chickens, I always go through their food as well, just to make sure it's not too over. And obviously, with animal feed, you shouldn't be taking it into your kitchen and sorting it. It should all be done outside, and that's why this is here, to ensure that we can do that for them and they get the best of the food. And doing it in a legal manner. We are in the process of sorting it out over there. In a minute I'll show you. And then these will go over there, which will be a little bit better out of the way. Right, so take you over because the goats are waiting at the moment. The dog is being mad with my husband, just making a little something for the goats over there. Right, so we'll feed these to the goats. And I'll just drop them on the floor, because I'm sure the others will come over, and then we need to have as much food on the floor as possible so that they can share. There we are, they're all enjoying that. So as I was saying, I've sorted this here, and we've got these two tables, one that I can wash veg in. There's no running water there as yet, but I can just bring the hose pipe over. But over here I've got a nice little area, my trees there, which hasn't given me any fruit yet. So we've got this area here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put cardboard down here, a membrane over the top, and then I don't like membranes, but I don't also like weeds. So, and then we're going to put them there so that they'll be there in a nice area. My tap is over there, so it'll be all nice and handy for cleaning out any veg or what have you. So we'll be doing that in the near future, maybe this week. Hi everyone, so today I'm at home and I brought the beetroot home to do them, to show you how easy it is to do your beetroot in the air fryer, whether you want it cooked just with a hot meal, or whether you want to cook it and then have it cold on a salad, or you want it warm on a salad, or you want to put it into pickling. All of the ways that I've spoken about, you can do it in the air fryer, and it is so easy. With such little mess. It's the best way that I found to do my beetroot. So come along and see how I do it. So here I have the beetroot that I got earlier, all different sizes. Obviously nature doesn't give them to you one size. So I'll just take off a few of these. And literally, all I do, some people put some oil on it, but I actually want the skin to stick to this. I don't want it not to. So I just put it in here. They're relatively clean anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. And just wrap them up. So that is the simplest way of doing it. That one, you probably don't want to use too much if I don't need to. As little as possible. This one's going to need a bigger one. And that's really as simple as it gets. So there isn't anybody out there that's got an air fryer that couldn't do this, because it's, you know, pretty easy. Just like wrapping a present. So that's all of the ones that I have got, and that's as simple as it gets. Now I'll take you over and show you on the air fryer. So here's my air fryer. So in the bottom I'm putting my bigger ones, because I'm going to put it on for a certain amount of time, but my smaller ones might need less time. So I'm going to put this trivet in and try and get it in so that it goes down. I'm trying to do this with one hand, so it's a bit tricky moving them, wriggling them around. I don't necessarily want them touching, so let's just see if there. I mean, if no, none of them are touching now, so that's okay. And that also gives me enough room to put these up here. So it's a matter of saving space where you can. Let's just check that it will shut properly. Yes. So that's all of them. So we've got 8 in there altogether, some bigger, some smaller. And so now we're going to close it and put it on. So what we're going to do now, I don't know why, but when I'm videoing, it seems to be doing its own thing. While that's doing, I'm going to make my sweet pickling vinegar. So now I'm going to make my sweet pickling vinegar, and it's quite simple. It is 1 cup of half a cup of sugar. Oh, I nearly got it wrong. Half a cup of sugar, and you can add as much or as little as you want, dependent on how sweet or bitter you'd like it. Then you're adding a cup of white vinegar. A cup of white vinegar and a cup of water. Now, as long as you use that ratio, it doesn't matter what size container you do it in. So it's 1, 1 and a half. So 1 water, 1 vinegar and half sugar. But then it's all dependent on what you prefer. Then it's just your pickles. So I've got a star anise in there. I've made some previously mixed pickles. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now some people put it in Oh, it's gone out of my head. I was just about to say Bourgogne, but I don't. I just put it in, and then when people eat it, they just put the bits to one side, or I can sieve it and do it, whatever. I mean, it depends. It depends. If it's my family, we just get on with it. Anyway, I'm putting the heat on now, and all you really want to do, you don't want to burn it, you just want to bring it up to heat until the sugar is dissolved, and then you're all ready to go. I've got my jars in, soaking in some nice warm water at the same time. When the beetroot comes out, I shall pop those into the air fryer, and then they can warm up. If this is cooled down by then I will warm this back up so that everything is nice and warm, and then it will seal properly. The vinegar in here and the sugar should help it to keep. I've just recently opened a jar of this, and it was absolutely fine, and it was made, I think, more than 12 months ago, and it was lovely. And we bought one from Tesco's while we were away, and that wasn't very good at all. So, it just shows that what you do yourself often can be a lot better. Right, that has dissolved now, the sugar. You can have a little taste of it if you like. If it's for you and your family, just stick your finger in, and you can add more sugar dependent on what your flavour is that you're hoping to get out of it. But that's it, and now I'll come back in a moment when the air fryer is done. As you can hear, it's buzzing in the background. I'm just going to let this come up to just before boiling point and then turn it off. Okay, so that's as simple as it gets. Right, so now we'll check to see if these are ready. I have taken the little ones out and already tested these, but obviously the knife goes in nice and easily, so that means they're done. And I'll get one of the bigger ones out. I'll try this one. So they're still quite hot, but that's okay. Now I do need these to cool down a little bit to be able to take the skins off, but that one's been checked. That one has. I just checked. It's done. Done. That one's still a little bit. What I'll do is, rather than that one's still a little bit, what I'll do is I'll put all of these that are still holding a bit of heat around that one, and then that one should finish off. It's only very slight, probably just a bit al dente, but put these there, because while these are cooling off, or that one's finishing cooking, there we go. I can put, I'll take you along to show you, I can put these in here. Now it's already warm in there. Okay, so they're all in there. Tops are in there, and the jars. I probably need more jars than that, but never mind. And I'm just going to put it on for 2 minutes. I think that'll be enough. And that'll be the jars done. And then we can get back to the beetroot in a minute as soon as it's cooled down. So these have been left to cool now, so these should be ready to do. So hopefully they won't make too much mess. So I'm going to use this and just rub against there. And as you can see, that comes off really easily. I mean, I'm still going to get covered, but with beetroot you are anyway. So that comes off really easy. I think it's because it's obviously so abrasive, and you can take any of the bits off that you don't want just by rubbing, or a bit later you can cut it off. So that's the bit there that I want. I can tell that needs to come off. Right, so that's one. So I'll probably speed this up because you won't want to be watching me doing this. So obviously it takes a little while, but it's nice and easy with the tin foil, and it just rubs off. Right, I'll just clean this up now, where it looks like there's been a massacre. Beetroot is a very good dyeing agent as well, along with red onions, as we can see. But it will wear off over time, as it will on my hands, thankfully. I'm one of those cooks that likes to tidy as I go. Lots of people just do what they're doing and then tidy up afterwards. I can't do that. I've tried, it doesn't work, so I have to tidy up as I go, and then I'm in a happy place. Right, so that's that done. So whilst I'm doing this, I'm warming up the vinegar, the pickling vinegar. Now I'm going to get the jars out of the air fryer, pop them here, and then as I cut these, they're going to go into the jars. The jars are warm. Because after they'd been on, I left them to just stay in the air fryer, which obviously kept the heat with it. Using a clean tea towel. So now I'm just going to cut these up. Start from the smallest. I just make sure that I take the ends off. They can always be used in some other way. And then it depends how you like them. I don't like them too thin. And as you can see, it's cutting really nicely. So no issues with those beetroots at all. Now, I know I'm going to probably need more jam jars, but we will see. Just cut the end off there. So I just use some paper towel to make sure that there's no debris and that it's all cleaned as much as I can. Now I do use Kilner jars sometimes for some things, but not for this. I just use old jars such as jam jars, curry jars, any jars that I know that are going to seal again. And if any of them don't seal, then they will get eaten first. Right, so that's all of those done. It's just to make sure that they seal and there's nothing inhibiting them sealing. So that's that done. There we go. Right. So now that those are done, we can then, and what I like to do to ensure they all get some spices, I will pop them in like this. And they're all filling up, but what I've got to make sure is that when they're done, there's no air spaces. You don't want any pockets of air in there. And we need to make sure that the liquor is above the beetroot. Sometimes the beetroot does come up and tries to float. Now look at that one. That one was full and it's gone down. So it's a matter of looking, and if you're not sure, you can pop a knife inside to just, the knife that you've been using, to just make sure that it's got no pockets of air in there. There we go. See, even by putting the knife in, because this one did have some air in it, I'm just double checking it. It was okay. See, even that one. So it's worth double checking. A little bit more in that one. There we go. All that air to come out. Pop in and just make sure it's above it, which it more or less is. So, right, this one I think has got too much in, and because of that I'm going to take one of those out, I think, and pop it into another one. That's not a problem. And I think I'll do the same with this one. I'll just wipe them around again just to make sure they're okay. I prefer to do that than to risk losing my whole lot of beetroot. That's better. I'm terrible for overfilling. I always tell myself, but I always overfill. Right, that's better. So I'll just go over with the tissue again just to make sure that it can make a proper seal there. That's that one. That one. This one. Now it's find the right top. I think that's right. Right, that seems to be. So what I'm going to do now is twist them so that they're nice and tight. And then I'll leave them. And then these dimples should go down once they cool. And that's all there is to it for those. Just label them when you've done them, and then just check once they've cooled down to make sure that these have gone down. And if they have, then you're ready to go. I'm going to finish off my last one, but I think that's about it for me. Right, that's it from me. I hope that that's been helpful. I hope that now you're not afraid of making your own beetroot, because it's quite easy. A little bit messy, still got a bit of red hands, but it's not too bad. Anyway, that's it for me for today. Keep watching. Something new will come out soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.